Hi, Michael.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Thanks for coming in. Last time you were here, we talked about that miracle question, and do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
What do you recall from that?
That you asked me if the miracle happened, how my life would be, how I would see it.
Good. You remember some of the things that you talked about?
Some of them, yeah, about how I would want how I would have a job, I would have that, the wall up there, I would have my family, my life, and everything would be easy, I would have that felony following me, haunting me.
And as the weeks gone by, did anything come up after we talked about that? That any aha moments or just connecting some dots? So maybe boundaries with your parents or your mom.
Well, yeah, I told my mom, about the boundaries that I felt that she needed to have with me and me with her. With those boundaries, I told her that she needs to let me do what I need to do and not hound me, because that's part of things that I need to work on myself. And she's been a good support with that. She's not harassing me when she asks me to do something, or she lets me do it at my pace like I asked her. As long as it gets done, she's happy.
And will that be different when you get out this time versus maybe last time that you were in prison or in jail? I mean, you said she hounded you. What's the importance of setting up those boundaries?
Well, when she hounded me, I felt like, I wasn't meeting her expectations of life. I just felt like, she wanted me to do this, this, and this now, and I'm a human being. I need to do things at my pace to get done. And when she was hounding me, I felt that I wasn't capable of doing, to meeting her expectations of doing things, and so it made me feel like I wasn't as such a good person. Like not even as such a good person, but that I was incapable of meeting her goals. So I was letting her down.
Right. So having a conversation before you get released, kind of setting some boundaries. What do you anticipate? What's the benefit of that for you?
It's going to allow me to be able to feel that I'm completing the tasks that she asks me, as long as the boundaries are, put in place and they're followed. As long as, the things she asked me to do, I could do them at my own pace, and I feel like I'm meeting her expectations. I'm doing what she expects me to do, being, her son, my mom, she asked me to do something, I want to do it, and I want to do it to completion, to her satisfaction. So if she doesn't hound me, I feel that I'm actually completing tasks. I'm getting things done. I'm a good person for doing that.
Yeah, I think that's important. We've talked about your concerns, and you just mentioned one of your strengths. You are the expert in your life. You know what you need. You're learning to ask for help, and I think, and I just want to acknowledge you for realizing that with your mom. If I set some boundaries with her, then I know, and she knows. I'll ask for help when I need it, but just let me learn at my pace, and I think that will address your concern. It also allows you to go to your strengths, as well.
Right. I feel that if those boundaries are there, when I do need help, it will make me learn to be able to ask for help instead of just giving up.
Right.
Which I've done in the past, and that's where it's led me, is where I'm at today. So
it's good. I think it's always important for us to recognize what's different. You've been in prison before, so knowing that about yourself, knowing that about the relationship with your mom, and how to set those boundaries is positive. I think that's a good job. Any other concerns?
In life in general?
Yeah, just getting out of prison and getting back assimilated into civilian life and leaving prison.
Well, the mentality in prison is totally different than on the streets. You know, that's a big concern of me. Just when people look at me in the eyes, like in prison, you don't look at people like that, you know, and it's going to be a different go around because I'm going to have to acclimate myself back to normal society to see people, to speak to them normally, and not take every little word to heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's in prison, you know, words mean a lot because all you have is your word in prison. When you hit the streets, there's a lot more than you have, more than just your word in prison.
Right.
You know, the actions prove who you are or what you are.
What are some other strengths that you have that you'll be able to use, and once you get to accomplish some of the goals that you've talked about?
I feel that I have good listening skills,
Good.
which will allow me to listen to other people that have been in my shoes, or like when I go to meetings and stuff, I'll be able to listen to their stories and see the similarities, not the differences that we have, to know that someone else has actually walked in my shoes and is successful in life.
Good. Yeah, I think it's always important to look for those similarities. You know, it's easier, at least for me, to look at people's differences than their similarities. One of the goals that you talked about was getting a job. So what's your plan for getting a job?
You know, my plan is, you know, of course, not talking about it, putting it into action,
Right.
move my feet, you know, go out there and ask for that chance, ask for the help. Hey, I'm a different person. Yeah, I messed up, but give me that chance. I'll prove to you. But if you don't give me that chance, you know, anyone always says, you know, you've been in prison, they always kind of, but if you go in there and you sell yourself, and you go in there and you talk, you be honest and, you know, be very transparent, that hopefully the employers will give me a chance, you know.
Good.
So, I mean, that's my biggest goal, is to go out there and just pound the pavement and get my resume out there and get that job.
And so what feelings do you have as you think about getting released? What emotions come up? What is that?
A lot of anxiety. Even now, just talking about it, there's a lot of anxiety. A lot of trust issues with people. You know, everyone is like, oh yeah, don't worry about this, just come on in. And then you get in there and you talk, and they're just like, oh, sorry, you know, it's a big thing with trust. You know, people always will look at your record and say, you know, and it's, let me prove to you, give me that chance. And that's all I ask. You know, that's a big thing for me, is if I'm trusting you, divulging my personal information to you, I feel that someone else should give me that same opportunity, and that, you know, trust me and
Right.
give me the opportunity to prove myself.
So you talked about anxiety. What other feelings or emotions come up?
You know, I'm scared, of course. You know, I mean, I know when I first went to prison, I wasn't scared of the prison. You know, I was like scared of the new environment. You know,
Right.
something that you don't know. I'm the same now. Going out, I know what society is, but I'm a different person today. So that scares me.
Good.
So a lot of scared and anxiety.
And so what's your plan to deal with your emotions? Like you talked about, I have tasks, I want to get a job, it's a program of action. So I'm going to keep my feet moving. I'm going to go out there. So that's good for that piece of it. So, but what about the emotional piece? What's your plan of action for that?
Well, I plan on allowing myself to feel my emotions
Good.
and go from there. You know, emotions are a real thing, and I always had emotions, but I always masked them with my drug use and my alcohol use.
Good.
So now that I'm, you know, and it's over, that I can go out there and I know those feelings are real, and just let them be, because they're there for a reason.
Awesome. And you know, I'm in your corner, and I'm here for you, and I will always be. So, you know, use me as well. I've appreciated everything that you've shared, you know, over the time that we've met, and the things that you've shared, sharing your secrets with me, allowing me to get to know you. So if you're willing, I'd be more than happy to kind of be there for you and allow that process of your emotions to happen.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.